A win in today's episode and we could be crowned champions, but we don't feel much like celebrating because I think I might have destroyed Schalke. So behind the scenes, things are just getting more desperate at Schalke, and we've had a message to say that due to the club's mounting debts, which stand at over £100 million, the club is on the verge of administration. In all my years of football managing, I don't think I've ever taken a club into administration before. I think the only thing that might be able to save us is if we can get ourselves into the Bundesliga fast enough to get some TV revenue to keep our creditors at bay. We've played 8 league games since you saw us losing to our title challengers Paderborn in the last episode. We've been scoring plenty of goals, but the clean sheets have pretty much dried up aside from our last game. Let's talk you through how we've been doing. After that Paderborn defeat, we did bounce back. We won 4-2. Geronimo got our first goal for us. Cordovar was on the score sheet as well. And then Rascal got 2 more to add to his collection of goals that he scored this season. Next, we had 2 3-1 victories in a row. The first of those was against Greuther Fürth, a rare goal for Klunter on a rare appearance for that player. Cordovar scored again, then Rascal topped it off by scoring the third, and it was the same scoreline as we played Hanover, with Thiau getting the first, Geronimo scoring again, and Lucas Klunter making it back-to-back games in which he had scored in. We did throw in another defeat in our next game. We played Fortuna Dusseldorf, who are a good side. Timothy Tillman got 1 goal for us, but we were no match to Fortuna on this game, if I'm honest. But we got another 3-1 victory in our next game. We played Holstein Kiel. Rabbi Matondo came in because of Rascal picking up an injury, and he delivered with 2 goals, and Ganvula scored as well, and started a little run for Ganvula where he scored in the next 3 games, as well as in this one. We drew 2-2 in our next game. Cordovar got the first goal, and then Ganvula scored again. But in the next game, as we played Duisburg, Ganvula ran riot. He netted not 1, not 2, but 3 goals in this game. Malik Thiau scored late on for us as well. We ran out 4-1 winners, and we scored 4 goals in our most recent game as well, as we played a side that are looking like they're heading down to the division below. Sergio Cordovar scored for us. Ganvula scored twice, making it 5 in 2 games. And Amin Adli scored for us as well to wrap up a pretty comprehensive victory and leave us in the situation where if we could just get a win in today's game and Paderborn pick up a draw or a defeat, we are going to be crowned champions. I think the other big news to bring you is that we've made it through an entire campaign and we're still playing the same formation. We've got these central 3 strikers, which has been very effective for us. They're like half wingers. They do cross, but rather than play high balls into the box, they tend to do lots of cutbacks and drilling balls across the 6-yard box, often for their opposite strike partner to run in and score. It's a pretty effective system. The thing I do like as part of a front 3 is a target forward as well. I guess a deep line forward might be effective as well as a target forward, but they do drop into some lovely little pockets of space. And as you've got advanced forwards probing in attacking areas and fullbacks dashing forward as well, it's been a very effective strategy for us this season. The one little problem we've had recently is an injury to Rainer Rascal. He's missed about 3 or 4 games in a row now. He's managed to score 22 goals this season for a player that we dragged out of the under-19s. I don't think he was meant to be anywhere near first-team football, but he's managed to make himself top scorer in Bundesliga 2 this season. In fact, it's not even close. He's a good 6 goals clear of his closest challenger. What a season the Rascals had, but unfortunately, he's not quite got the match sharpness to make it into the starting 11 for today's game. So instead, we're going to be relying on our other strikers. Ganvula is in great form. Cordovar has been steady. And Geronimo, for a player who's got finishing of 8, I don't think you can really argue with 11 goals in just 15 starts. He has been superb as well. We should be strong at the back. We've got our first choice midfield out there. All we've got to do is go out and better Paderborn's result. Let's show you who we're up against today. Are they going to be spoilers? Let's take a look in the scout report. Today we make the journey to the sleepy town of Heidenheim, where we've been handed an away game against an opponent in 6th place in the league. Head coach Ibrahim Celik will be out to deny us becoming champions, But if we could win the game and Nuremberg could do us a favour, then we could seal the title as FC Heidenheim take on Schalke 04. So as the teams make their way out onto the pitch, we've just got to better Paderborn's result. If they draw and we win, we're going to be champions. If we only manage to snag a point in our game, then if Nuremberg could do us a favour and defeat Paderborn, again, we will be champions. It's going to be a tense and nervy affair. Let's get the game underway. And it has not taken long to hit the first highlight. We're barely a minute into the game and our opponents are coming at us. We've won the ball back. Now we can launch a little attack of our own. We've given the ball away. That could be a costly error as Fink gives the ball away as well. A tense and nervy little start to this game as we thump a long ball forward but manage to win it, and Cordovar decides to play cautious. He plays it back into midfield and that dink just goes over the bar. That could have been the dream start. Will we have more luck from a set piece? Adley slings one over. Again, we've sent another effort over the bar. We're peppering their goal early. We're still tied at 0-0 in the Nuremberg-Paderborn game. We've got to try and force a little breakthrough. I'd like to be a goal, maybe two, up by half-time. So at least we're doing our bit. And then we can nervously watch events in the Nuremberg game to see if we're going to get our title. We're coming forward again. Rafael Brito goes back to Tiao. And we're going to build all the way up from the back. We've got Sequay. He's got a bit of space, but he's got a fullback to beat. And instead he plays the ball back. Brito's very far forward. And we probably wish he wasn't because he gave the ball away. Fortunately, we've won it back again. And we are looking to try and probe their defence. Adley, now Sequay's in. He's gone back again. Cordovar is going to need support. Kabicha, the auxiliary left back, has got into the box. And this is why it's beneficial to have a two-footed fullback because he's playing on the left. He took that effort on his right and he has placed that right into the corner of the net to give us a goals advantage after 17 minutes. We're going to have to score a second, I think, because we've not been keeping many clean sheets. But that is a cracking start to what could be a huge afternoon. We're hurtling our way towards half-time. It's still locked at 0-0 in that Paderborn-Nuremberg game. And a minute into stoppage time, we've got one final highlight before half-time. It could be for us because we've got the ball through Lucas Ribeiro. He's gone all the way back to our keeper. What are we trying to fashion here? Tiao, not pressurised. He just lays it into midfield. And now we've sprayed the ball out wide. Sequay, can he get good delivery into the box? He has. Although Gambula can't get on the end of it. Instead, he's given it to Kabicha. And now Geronimo. And we've got a very important second goal. It looks like we might be doing our bit this afternoon. If Nuremberg can just keep Paderborn tied at 0-0, we're going to be champions. Could Nuremberg get a goal? Have they already got a goal? Are they going to be going in at half-time? 1-0 in the lead. And then we've got to be confident of sealing the title, I think. We're going to have to check out their scores at the start of the second half. We hit the 57-minute mark. It's still 0-0 between Paderborn and Nuremberg. There's been very little going on in that game by the looks of it, and we are trying to score a third goal in our game today. We've got Adley. He's trying to craft something on the edge of the area. Sequay, he has hitch-kicked one past the keeper. That is one heck of a goal that he's just scored. Bit of a troublemaker during the last transfer window. All is forgiven. He's happy to stay at the club, by the way, now. And can you blame him? Because it looks like we could be about to reach the Bundesliga. We might be a bankrupted club by the time we get there, but Sequay has just scored one of our best goals of the season. We've freshened things up with a couple of substitutions, including bringing the rascal back in after his injury layoff. Let's see whether he is still sharp enough to get a goal on this big occasion. Adley's dashing through. He's been running the show over the last few games. And he's on a set piece here. He's going to sling in a corner. He's gone to the far post. Tiao has a good effort. Their keeper had to look lively. And here is the little rascal. He's going to go all the way back to Sequay in defence. That highlight peters out. We're still locked in there at 0-0. Let's just pause it with 15 minutes to go. You can see we're going to be 11 points clear if these results stay as they are. And there's only going to be 9 left to play for. We're going to make our final substitution and see whether the title is ours. We have about 7 minutes left in our game. Still 0-0 between Paderborn and Nuremberg. Our opponents are having a plucky little highlight of their own here. as they move down our right. John Michael Serra gets the ball out. That's a heck of a save from Zingale, and a follow-up save as well. It might have hit the post, it might have hit Zingale's legs, but he's kept his clean sheet for the moment. We had a brief flash back to the main screen. I didn't catch the score, and we're into the highlights again. The rascal doesn't jump, but Kubica, my goodness, is glad that he didn't. He's curled home another sublime finish. Again, he's taken this one on his right foot. Oh, he has got lead in his boots this afternoon. Sequay, a deep cross. Rascal didn't fancy it with two men against him. But Kubica definitely did. He's curled it home to give us a 4-0 lead. What is that Paderborn score? They're still locked at 0-0. And Martha gives the ball to Strauss. And that is another good save by Zingale. Unfortunately, he saved it and he wasn't the quickest to recover from his dive. He's instead sprawled out there. Maybe he clattered into the post. He's left an unguarded net. And that makes it 4-1. Again, we don't keep a clean sheet. It was a great save. Didn't really face the right way as he was standing up in order to try and save the second ball. We won't hold that against him. Again, we're straight into a highlight before we can see the Paderborn score. I'm very tempted to just turn off the highlights and see what happens at full time. We've got 2 minutes left. Surely we're not going to give away another goal, are we? Our opponents are just starting to make me a little bit nervous now because they've got a corner and they've almost scored a second goal. If we'd have given this away in injury time, that would have been an absolute tragedy. I still haven't got to see the Paderborn game. You can probably rewind and tell me what's going on. Are they still locked at 0-0? We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've only played one of those. This is going to be a proper highlight. Let's just get this over with as quickly as possible. Even give Martha the goal. Hold on, careful what you wish for. We're now at 4-2. They are not going to launch a comeback, are they? Are they? Surely not. I'm going to skip past this. I'm going to try and get on the pause button quick. We are still locked at 0-0. We're still 11 points clear. We've just got to see our injury time. Okay, we're going into the last highlight of our game. The last I saw, Paderborn were 0-0. This could be enough. If the referee blows up and Nuremberg have held on, we are going to be champions. The Rascal, here was me saying that the Rascal was a little bit off the pace. You never lose that kind of finisher's instinct, do you? He's got a 5th goal for us. And that is going to be us home and hosed in our game. Nice little ball through by Geronimo. And what a finish by the Rascal this is. So cool, so composed. A model citizen's finish. But what about the game that's going on with our opponents? Is it going to finish 0-0? I think it might have done, you know. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to tell the boys that was good work. And we want to see whether we have been crowned champions. So the inbox confirms it. We have been crowned champions. There we go. You can see the C next to our name. They can't catch us now. But the real news is whether we've managed to get that little reputation boost now that we've sealed another league win. We need to be a 3.5-star manager in order to just up the ante with the jobs that we can apply for during the summer. And we have indeed got that little half a star. We're now a 3.5-star boss. That gives us another thing to boast about on our CV. And it might be that we can stroll into that job market in the summer and command ourselves some interviews at some pretty good jobs. Whilst we go and do the admin of the end of the season, we're going to see you for our next episode to start the job hunt. In the meantime, why don't you check out this video next and see whether it contains a team that might just make the focus of your next Football Manager adventure.